Okay, good evening and welcome to the Planning Commission of the City of Moreno Valley. I now call this meeting to order on October 10th, 2024 at 6 o'clock. May I invite Commissioner Stefan to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Commissioner Taylor,
Present.
Commissioner Zeitz,
Present.
Commissioner Terrell,
Here.
Commissioner Stefan,
Present.
Commissioner Dejanay,
Here.
Commissioner Cobian,
Here.
Vice Chairperson Baker,
Here.
Chairperson Gonzalez has an excused absence. Thank you.
Okay, now we have the approval of the agenda. We're going to move, can I get a motion and approval of the agenda at this time?
I'll make a motion. And I'll make the second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Dejanay and second by Commissioner Zeke. All in favor, please vote. Where it is, okay. Down there.
We can take a voice vote.
Okay. Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Zeitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Terrell,
Yes.
Commissioner Stefan,
Yes.
Commissioner Dejanay,
Yes.
Commissioner Cobian,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Baker.
Yes.
Thank you.
And the motion carries 7-0. The next thing we have is the public comments procedure. Before we hear public comments this evening, I ask and encourage everyone participating to keep the comments respectful toward others, especially toward the individual speaking. I embrace and support the First Amendment right of free speech, including everyone's right to speak at this meeting and share his or her views about the concerning the city. The next item on that is any person wishing to speak under the public comments section of the agenda, scheduled items, or public hearings must fill out a request to speak that's available at the door. The completed form must be submitted to the secretary prior to the end of the public comment period. During the public comment period for each item, including items not on the agenda, each member of the public who has signed up to speak will have a minimum of 3 minutes to speak. The public must direct their comments to the chairperson of the commission. Public comments, not on the agenda at this time. Now we will move into public comments on any agenda, any item not on the agenda. Are there any speakers for the non-public agenda?
No speakers.
Thank you. The consent calendar. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the consent calendar. All items under the consent calendar are considered to be routine and non-controversial and may be enacted with one motion unless a member of the commission requests that item be removed from the separate action. Items withdrawn for report or discussion will be heard before the action of the consent calendar. Questions or comments from the public on the consent calendar matter will pertain to the subject under consideration. At this time, are there any commissioner who would like to pull an item from the consent calendar for separate vote or discussion? Do we have any public comments on the consent calendar?
No public comment.
Okay, now, may I have a second? I need a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar.
I'll make a motion.
Okay,
Second.
okay. Motion by Commissioner DeZay and a second by Commissioner Stefan. Will we please have the vote?
We can take
Guess
a
we're
voice
gonna have
vote
to have a
again.
voice vote, this, ladies, okay? Sorry.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Zeitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Terrell,
Yes.
Commissioner Stefan,
Yes.
Commissioner DeJarnay,
Yes.
Commissioner Kobian,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Baker.
Yes,
Thank you.
and the motion carries 7-0. The next item is non-public hearing items on the agenda. Do we have any items for the non-public items?
No items, Vice Chair.
Items, okay. Now we're going to go into the public hearing items. The next item on the agenda for public hearing is item number 1, plot plan PEN 23-10139. May we have a staff report?
Yes, good evening, Vice Chair, members of the commission. Gabriel Diaz, our associate planner, will be making the presentation this evening.
Thank you, Chairman and Commissioners. Sorry about that. The applicant is requesting approval for a plot plan for the development of a parking lot with 83 regular vehicle parking spaces. The project is located at 23125 Sunnymead Boulevard, just east of the existing Enterprise Rent-A-Car. The project size is 1.2 acres and is a vacant site. The general plan land use is C commercial designation for the project site. The zoning designation is within the village specific plan 204 community commercial zoning district. The proposed project includes 83 parking spaces, and the design is intended to complement the commercial development surrounding the project site. Access to the site will be provided from one driveway off Sunnymead Boulevard and one internal driveway connected to the Enterprise Rent-A-Car lot to the west. The parking lot design includes gated entrance and wrought iron fencing with decorative pilasters securing the project site. There is an existing block wall that is currently on the residential side of the south property line and will remain in place. A new 6-foot-high decorative block wall will be constructed approximately 10 feet from the north of the southerly property line to provide screening and a buffer between the parking lot and the existing single-family homes to the south. Our municipal code does require that there be a minimum 6-foot-high decorative block wall between the commercial use and the residential use, and the 6-foot-high wall, it will be measured from the commercial side. The new 6-foot-high wall does provide access for maintenance and a 10-foot slope area, which is also a 10-foot water easement that cannot be built on. In addition, the landscape design includes landscape setbacks, parking lot landscape, street trees, and other landscape treatments around the perimeter of the project site. The project, as proposed, is consistent with the municipal code requirements. Environmentally, the project has been evaluated in compliance with the criteria set forth in the California Environmental Quality Act. The project is categorically exempt from the provisions of CEQA under the CEQA guidelines, section 15332 for infill development projects, a class 32 exemption. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve the approved plot plan for the proposed parking lot, subject to the conditions of approval. There have been no public inquiries to report. And this concludes staff presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any commissioners that'd like to question the staff?
I have a couple.
Okay, Commissioner Reed.
Concerning the lighting in the parking lot, how tall are the light stanchions?
Currently, lighting is not being reviewed. That will be reviewed through the building plan check process. But our municipal code requires that the parking lot lighting be no higher than 20 feet, 100 feet from the residential.
Okay, because I have concern about lighting up backyards and things along there, so she'll. Will there be, what is this parking lot for?
You're currently approving a standalone parking lot.
Okay,
The enterprise rent-a-car adjacent will be leasing this property, but does not own the property.
okay. At any time, will semis be able to park there? Or is that something that we may have to put in for, since if case the enterprise does not want to lease it anymore, can we put a stipulation that cannot be truck parking?
This is not a truck stop or trucking parking lot. This is a standard vehicle parking lot.
Okay,
Commissioner Sides, if I may add to that, this is being approved, like Gabriel said, as a standard parking lot.
Okay.
Truck parking is a separate specific use, so this is not approved as that. In addition to that, it's not designed to support truck parking, including the driveways and the entrances.
and then the last concern I have is, with the 10-foot easement, I understand it's there because of the piping and whatnot runs behind you. I have a concern with it being brick wall on both sides, and I understand there's a code for it, that you have to have it. My concern is this is gonna turn into like a homeless type grotto back there. What are we going to do so this does not turn into something of that nature? Because you put 2 large block walls and one on the end, they're gonna tarp it off and start living in there.
Yeah, the end pieces are not block walls. What you see is just a block wall parallel running with Sunnymead Boulevard to separate the commercial use from the residential use and provide a noise barrier along with preventing lights to go into the residents' homes. But you will be visible and it will be maintained from the ends of the east and west side. Those are wrought iron fences, and it's 10 feet, so it's not narrow. And Enterprise does have, and the adjacent owner does have eyes to it from the ends.
Okay.
So
I just
if
didn't
I
wanna
may
build
add to that, both ends of the, that area are also fenced, so it's hard to gain access to that area. However, there are 2 built-in gates on either side, and the purpose of those are for maintenance. And the property owner is ultimately responsible to ensure that that is maintained and that safety is addressed.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions of staff on this item?
Is this parking lot, is this specifically being made because Enterprise is going to lease it? So they're going to make it into a parking lot? Is that the main purpose, or?
I believe the applicant is here to
Okay.
speak on that if
Okay, I'll
they
talk
are,
to
but
him.
what's before you is a parking lot.
Yeah, I know.
Currently, Enterprise will be
I'm
using
just
it.
curious, I mean, when I
So
did,
we can let the applicant speak to the the purpose or the development, but the project before you is being presented as a
As a
standalone parking lot.
yeah.
There is
But
intention
You did say that they
from-
were gonna lease.
Yeah,
so I
there,
kinda-
there is intention for the lease with Enterprise, but if that lease ever ends, the applicant can speak to, further purpose of the parking lot.
Okay, are there any other questions for staff? If not, let's have the applicant come forward and give us the rundown on this project. Okay?
That's a
There you
good
go,
one.
Mr. Enterprise.
No, it's not, he's the owner, isn't he?
Go on ahead.
Here we go.
Good afternoon, good evening. My name is
Good evening.
Julian Sanchez with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Thank you very much for having us
His
tonight.
Enterprise.
I'm Ricardo Casares with MOA Architects. I've been coordinating the project with their planning staff.
Super. So to answer your question about the parking lot, as a company for Enterprise Rent-A-Car, we have need for some additional space to utilize for better presenting our product to the Moreno Valley customers and to be able to help our business grow. So it is intended for just internal use and not to be used for any other purpose other than enterprise business.
How long of a lease do you have on this?
20 years
20 years, okay.
with intent to continue extending beyond
Okay,
that.
so that's a bit of time.
Okay, have we got any other questions for the applicant? Okay, Commissioner. Dunn.
Now, is this basically just gonna be storage for your rental cars, or is this also gonna be possibly for sale of the rental cars also?
No sales.
Okay, is anybody else?
Yes, I do understand how you guys need more space. I just rented a car from you guys for 2 weeks straight. And so when I was coming in and out, there was so many cars everywhere, but there was not enough space. So I think it's going to work out great because there was just so many customers and it was crammed in that little space. And you guys have a lot of business, like a lot of business. And I rented a car for 2 weeks and I was in and out of there and I was like, yeah, they need more space because the animal shelter is next door.
Right next door.
And then you have all that busy traffic going down the street, and the cars are literally like hanging, and they're up against that fence right there. So I think it'll be a good project.
Thank you.
So this is intended for inventory. For when people come to rent a vehicle, you'll be able to access the cars in the lot.
To allow customers to come in, park, us to walk over, have a nice ready line space to show what inventory options we do have available, and that's it. To be able to better present our product and to help grow the business and grow the greater Moreno Valley community.
And do the safe walkarounds when you
Yep.
have people pull up and you show them the car and they get to check off, the tires and everything is there and it's safe and not like out towards the middle of the street, towards the street. So I understand what you're saying.
Okay, you have anybody else have a question for applicant? If not, we'll now open the public hearing at 6:20. I'm going to hit the gavel. And the clerk will call upon each person who has requested to speak. Each member of the public wishing to speak will have a maximum of 3 minutes to speak on the public item. Do we have any public item comments?
No public speakers.
Okay, good. I guess where we don't have any comments, the applicant doesn't have to come up and talk about that. So at this time, if there's no more speakers or public testimony, then we will close the public hearing, I guess at 6:21, and move on to deliberations with a motion. Somebody want to deliberate on this a little bit? No?
I just think it's a good deal. I also had to rent a car, and the first car didn't work out, and they had to go get another one, and it is very tight. I mean, I couldn't even understand how they're really doing business right now. It's really, really a very tight situation. And when we took the car back, my son virtually had to take it to the back because there was no parking in the front, none whatsoever. And so maybe it was like deja vu or an omen or something that I went in there because now this got presented. So it's a good deal. And you guys can have more cars there too, because I know that we rented one that came from Texas. So I don't think the inventory was, But no, I think it's a great deal. And then 20 years, that sold me already.
Anybody else have any comments? I think it's a good company. When I was traveling, I used to rent some, they took good care of me. So what we're gonna do, if we don't have any more deliberation, I'm gonna ask that we have, I guess I close do we have a motion and second to adopt the staff recommendations?
My motion.
Okay,
I'll second the motion.
okay. Got a motion by Commissioner Seitz and a second by Commissioner Taylor. Now we need to vote. Assume.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Zeitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Terrell,
Yes.
Commissioner Stefan,
Yes.
Commissioner Dejanay,
Yes.
Commissioner Cobian,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Baker.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion carries 7-0. Can we have a staff wrap-up on this project?
Yes, thank you. This project does stand approved by this board, this body. Anybody, unless it's appealed, anybody wishing to appeal may submit an application with our Community Development Director along with associated fees to apply for that. Thank you.
Thank you. So the next thing on the agenda is other commission business. We have no items at this time. The next item on the agenda is staff comments. Do we have any staff comments?
I have only one comment. I just wanted to welcome and introduce the city's new Community Development Director, Angelica Frosto Lupo. I want to introduce her to the commission and to the public and welcome her.
Okay.
Ask if she has any words.
Good evening, Vice Chairperson and Planning Commissioners. I'm excited to be here and get to know all of you. Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah. Okay, the next item is, do we have any planning commissioner comments? No. Okay. Can't believe it with all these politicians up there, but anyhow, we're gonna call for adjournment now. The planning commission well, you have a lot of politicians in this group right now. That's good. The planning commission meeting is adjourned at, I guess it's about 6:30, and there's 6:22. And our next meeting will be on October 25th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Meeting's adjourned.
If I may, Chair, it's October 24th at 6 p.m.